What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to pop in and make sure everyone's still doing okay after that heartbreaking segment on Monday Night Raw that was supposed to be a celebration of one of the most decorated and beloved tag team factions of all time. I'm obviously talking about the New Day segment on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw that was the literal definition of an emotional roller coaster. We all knew that it was gonna go down one way or another. We just didn't know how, and I guarantee you, nobody picked it to go down the way it did. So basically, this video is gonna kind of be more or less a little bit of a rant, but man, oh man, it was such a heartbreaking segment to watch. I'm gonna start off by asking a pretty big question. Was that the most painful breakup since maybe The Shield? Because it really, really felt like that, man. Again, The New Day is one of the most beloved factions, tag teams, whatever you want to categorize them as. And not to mention, The New Day has been such a powerful marketing tool for the WWE for years now. With the whole power of positivity thing, we had the Bootios, and even still to this day, we see Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston doing Old Spice commercials. So I'm very curious to see what this heel version of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods looks like. Because it's been such a long time since we've seen them as heels that we kind of don't know what it's going to look like. And as heartbreaking as the segment was, it was so damn good because it was so unpredictable. And when WWE is unpredictable, that is when they are at their best. You had so many things going into it. You had what was supposed to be a celebration of the New Day. And then you had the fight between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and everybody who had initially thought that it was going to be Xavier Woods turning on Kofi Kingston, then you had some people thinking maybe it was going to be Kofi turning on Xavier. And then Big E comes out. And seeing Big E coming back into the ring, albeit not for a match, but still, just seeing him back, getting back into a ring, period, hearing the music come out, seeing him come out again through the Titantron, something that has been severely, severely missed is just Big E's presence as a whole. And nobody thought that it was going to be both Kofi and Xavier turning on Big E. And it just makes it hurt so much more because it's Big E and everybody loves Big E. And when Big E came out and had the idea of being their manager, sounded so damn good. And then we ultimately got what we ended up getting. So you have the one guy who a lot of people, including myself, was the only person to save the New Day, ends up being betrayed in the very end. Now, after what was such a heart-shattering segment, might end up just being what the doctor ordered for both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Because maybe a heel turn is what they needed, and maybe they just needed a reason for that heel turn, and the fact that they're going to make it Big E as the reason just hurts that much more and makes you want to boo the hell out of them. But when it was both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, week after week, fighting with the Final Testament, you could just feel like they were going nowhere. So again, maybe this is the shot in the arm that they needed that gets them back into the tag team title picture maybe. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The New Day felt just completely off without Big E. Big E was the instrumental part of the New Day. Obviously, Kofi and Xavier can both do it by themselves, but Big E just made everything fit. Between his in-ring work and his just overall charisma, he just made the New Day work and made it what it was. And after just trying several different things that just really did not work, Big E was the only person who could have saved him. And now we kind of know that we're never going to see the New Day again together until they reach the WWE Hall of Fame. And I think that just hurts so much. It sucks that they did it the way they did, which was awesome the way they did, but it just made it hurt so much more. So, that begs the question, what's going to be next for the New Day? Or, I guess we shouldn't be calling them the New Day anymore. We should be just calling them Kofi and Xavier until they come up with a new name, because I have a hard time believing that they are going to be the New Day unless they want to turn it into some negative type of meaning, which is very possible. But the big question is, what's next for those two? Obviously, we have to wait for Big E. Obviously, we got teased on an in-ring comeback. Now, I hope to God that he can come back and be the Big E that he was. And while I would have said it was impossible for him to come back, we did get very good mentions of Stone Cold coming back after a broken neck and Kurt Angle coming back after a broken neck. And not to mention Edge coming back, but that was 10 years after the neck injuries. For Kofi and Xavier, I think the answer is pretty simple. I think once the final testament is done with the Wyatt Six, I think the Wyatt Six have their next targets, and I think it's going to be Kofi and Xavier. So that is where I want to ask you guys the question. What do you think happens with both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods now that they have officially broken away from Big E and what we knew as the New Day? And also let me know what you think of the segment as a whole. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it because of just how heartbreaking it was? Or did you enjoy it because of how just well it was all put together and how unpredictable it was? As always, let me know all that stuff down below in the comments. And while you're down there, swing by the description. The description only has one link, and that is to our Linktree page. That link will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel, and I do suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates on Monday Night Raw, sometimes Friday Night SmackDown, and sometimes the PLEs. I only say sometimes for both Fridays and Saturday nights because this time of year, Fridays and Saturdays get really, really busy for me, but I am always available on Monday Night Raw, providing any unforeseen thing happening. But above all else, I want the X page to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling. Wrestling on its own is great, but it's so much better when you have people to talk to about wrestling. And if you're like me, you don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So that's what I want the X page to be, is a place for wrestling fans to go and just nerd out about pro wrestling. So if that does apply to you, swing by an upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw, join in on the conversations, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. With all that being said, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, because both help out the channel a lot, and they're both free to do. So, again, that is going to do it for this video here. Stay tuned for more content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.